Welcome to the dark side of the internet, where every whisper hides a warning and every story has teeth. I'm your guide through the shadows, and tonight we're going somewhere you won't come back the same. Turn off the lights, put your phone close. This is where the nightmare begins.
The face in the dirt. I don't know if this is weird, but my favorite habit is disappearing into this little patch of woods behind our neighborhood. It's only about a 5-minute walk from my front door. Old trees, an overgrown path nobody else seems to bother with. Basically the dream for an introverted teenager like me. Usually, I'll pop in my earbuds, play a playlist or some random podcast, and just wander until I'm ready to head home. A lot of my friends think I'm nuts for walking around out there alone, but I never see anyone else, so it feels safe. That's why I didn't think twice about going out on a random Tuesday after school. I'd had a terrible day, 2 pop quizzes, a pep rally I couldn't care less about. I just needed to clear my head. So there I was, backpack slung over one shoulder, phone in my hoodie pocket, music blasting through my earbuds. I was halfway through a playlist when I veered off the main path to look for mushrooms or weird flowers, anything to distract me from my brain. Then my foot hit something that didn't feel right. Not dirt, not leaves, not even rock. It was squishy, like stepping on a rotten fruit or a damp sponge. It was so gross that I jumped back on instinct, and that's when my heart started hammering. Because whatever it was, it felt alive, not moving, but warm and soft, like I'd just stepped on someone's arm. I yanked out my earbuds and looked down. At first, I thought I'd stepped on a dead animal, but then my brain caught up to what I was seeing. In the dirt, almost perfectly shaped, was a human face. The eyes were closed, the mouth slightly open. Even a nose, the right shape and everything. It looked exactly like someone had sculpted a hyper-realistic face in the earth, down to the pores and tiny imperfections. It reminded me of that scene in the Hunger Games where Peeta paints himself to look like a rock, except this wasn't paint, and it wasn't some 3D art project. It was the ground, and my footprint was pressed right across the cheek. Except the dirt didn't stay flattened like normal dirt would. It bounced back, like skin. I just stood there, frozen, mouth hanging open. My brain was throwing up every possible explanation. An art project? A prank? Pareidolia? Anything but what it looked like. But I walk there all the time. Nobody else ever does. Who would sculpt something so detailed out here? I did the dumbest possible thing. I reached out to touch it. I expected it to crumble like mud or feel rough like clay. It didn't. It was warm and soft, fleshy. I screamed when I felt it give slightly under my finger, and I swear, the eyelids twitched. Maybe I imagined it. I hope I did. But I screamed so loud I startled myself. My music was still playing in one earbud, some upbeat pop song that suddenly sounded wrong in that silence. I bolted. I didn't look back. My backpack bounced against me as I tripped over roots and branches, half blind with panic. By the time I reached home, I was drenched in sweat. My mom asked what was wrong, and all I could manage was, "Face in the dirt, face in the dirt." After a lot of confused stammering, she finally got the story. She told me I'd probably stepped on a dead animal or imagined something because I was tired or had seen too many horror TikToks. But she must have seen how pale I looked, because she agreed to come check it out the next morning. The next day, we went back together. The woods felt different, heavier, like the trees were listening. I kept telling myself I'd show her, that it'd still be there, something, except it wasn't. The spot looked normal, just dirt, maybe a little disturbed where I'd stepped, but definitely no face. No warmth either. The ground was cold and dry. Mom even brought a little gardening trowel. We dug around, nothing but rocks and roots. She laughed it off on the way home. "Maybe it was some weird pattern in the dirt," she said, "or a trick of the light, you psycho." I rolled my eyes, pretending to be relieved. But I remember exactly what I felt. The warmth, the give of the skin, the twitch. That was 3 weeks ago. I still walk the woods sometimes, but I keep my eyes on the ground now. Because if I ever step on another one of those dirt faces, I don't think I'll run this time. I think I'll want to see if it opens its eyes. Thank you for listening. Until next time, stay safe out there. Subscribe and follow for more.
If you're still here, you made it through the dark. But remember, the stories don't stop just because the video ends. They linger in the corners of your room, in the echo of your mind. So go ahead, turn off the screen, try to sleep. I'll be waiting for the next nightmare to begin.